Hi everybody, welcome into the Wolfman Gardening channel. Today I want to go over tight spaces and grow them vertically. If you have a small area, a small garden, small confined space, and you want to grow more vegetables, you have to grow them vertically. Now I'm going to give you 5 natural climbing vegetables that you can plant in the garden and grow them up these trellises. And I'm going to give you 2 vegetables that I grow here vertically that you have to help support, but can still grow them vertically. Let's get started. All right, the first thing is peas. Peas are really a cool season crop. Here, first part of May, it's really too late in the season to plant peas. If we were going to plant peas here, we want to do it about 2 weeks before the last expected frost date, because once peas get established, they can actually tolerate a light frost and a light freeze. So what peas do not like is hot weather. So if we planted them now, within another month, we're going to reach mid-90s consistently. And that's going to be way too hot for the peas and they're going to die off. One good thing about peas is they put off a lot of nitrogen back into the soil. So a lot of your crops that you have that take a lot of nitrogen, it's really good to companion plant peas with them. Another thing that you can plant is beans. Beans are natural climbers. Beans also, like the peas, put off a lot of nitrogen into the ground, so you can companion plant those with things that love nitrogen, like your tomato plants. You can companion plant those and grow them together. Now remember, I sat in this chair before and told you there's 2 different types of beans. You got the pole beans and the bush beans. Hey Chalk, welcome to the video. And Chalk is a little bit lonely right now. You'll have to bear with him. His masters are off on a Jamaican trip and he's a little bit lonely, so he's a little needy right now. Anyway, there's 2 types of beans. Remember, there's pole beans and then there's bush beans. I wouldn't necessarily trellis the bush beans, although back over here we do have a small trellis, and that is just so we can help tie them up and keep them up off the ground, and it's not very tall. Now your pole beans, they can grow 8, 10, 12 feet tall. Another thing, your beans, they need to be planted when the soil temperature is fairly warm. Beans do not like frost. They will not tolerate a frost. They don't like cold weather. So I would plant those out sometime a week, 2 weeks after your last expected frost date. And next thing that you can plant that loves a trellis are these here, are cucumbers. Now there's 2 types of cucumbers. There's pickling cucumbers and there's slicing cucumbers. Slicing cucumber is just a cucumber that you can slice. You can have it in salads. They're really good in garden salads. A lot of them you can get seedless or bulbless. And then there's the pickling cucumbers, which I love the pickling cucumbers because I make a lot of pickles. But if you'll notice right here, we don't have these trellised up yet. So we've got to get our trellises up before, stop, Jock. Goodness gracious, you little turd. But if you'll notice here, we've got cucumbers already growing. So this weekend, we have got to finish putting our trellises up to get these things up off the ground and keep the disease off of them. Now, cucumbers, I put this in the last video, your cucumber family, they do not like cool temperatures. Most of these, once temperatures get over 45, 50 degrees at night, perfect time to plant them. Technically, you could probably plant the first part of May and seed these, and they'll probably do just fine as long as you have a good long summer. Now, one other thing about these cucumbers is they are really heavy feeders. So, and they love water. Of course, when you bite into a cucumber, you get all that juice on all that all that water. That's because they intake a lot of water in order to grow. So they're heavy feeders and take a lot of water. So keep that in mind. All right, another thing are your melons. You can do, actually, your melons actually have little tendrils that will reach out and they will actually climb. Most people don't trellis their melons because if you think of a watermelon, it gets pretty good size. It'd be hard to support that on a trellis. But your cantaloupes and honeydew are part of the melon family, and you can actually, once they start growing, you can actually take some twine, some rag, anything that you want to do, some cloth to help hold these and support them while they grow, and you can actually grow those vertically as well. Now, your melons are also sensitive to frost, so I would wait till your soil temperature reaches at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 16 degrees Celsius, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, and if you've grown melons or big watermelons and you grow them vertically, send me a picture of that. Leave it in the comments because I'd like to see that done. I've never seen anybody actually grow the big melons. I've seen them grow the sugar babies and support those, but I've never seen jubilees grown vertically. So if for some reason you've ever grown one vertically and have a picture, feel free to send it to me because I would like to see that. You got to remember that watermelons, they are 90% water, so therefore they're going to take a lot of water. So make sure you water them regularly, and also they are heavy feeders, so you'll want to fertilize with a good balanced fertilizer sometime whenever you plant them, and probably about 3 to 4 weeks later. Another thing you can grow is Malibar spinach. Now, I don't know if you've ever grown Malibar spinach, but if you most of your spinach, whenever you grow in this area, once your temperatures, your daytime temperatures get substantially around 80, 85 degrees, then your spinach will slowly start to bolt and it'll be done. So your spinach is really a cool season crop. But this Malibar spinach, it comes from the tropical areas, so therefore it's made to thrive in hot, humid climates. So let me show you a picture of them. If you'll notice right here, we've got our Malibar spinach growing and started right here. We've got it on each side over here, and it's going to grow up this trellis, and we'll be able to pick it straight off this little entryway here. All right, lastly, I want to show you that you can use these trellises to grow your tomato plants. I showed you in another video where you can actually take and you can tie a string and you can tie it and pull these. You can just keep pulling these, and that's what I've done here. Just keep pulling them up next to this trellis and trimming the bottom of the leaves. You can grow these tomatoes vertically while keeping about this much of the stem sticking up. That way you don't have to worry about these soil-borne diseases that we covered in a previous video. So a lot of people will use tomato cages. I like to do them with the cattle panels, and even my arch over here. You can keep tying them up and just let them lay over the top of that arch, and your fruit will naturally just hang down, and it makes it super simple to pick and to harvest. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, think about subscribing to the channel. Like, comment, leave your comments down on the bottom. Let me know what you're growing and whether or not, what kind of trellises you use, what type of vegetables that you trellis. So, anyway, like always, keep it growing.